yoga or the path of inquiry.
Yes,
So,
Swamiji, what is the question?
The question is Jnana Yoga. Explain Jnana Yoga or path of inquiry. So, this Jnana Yoga or path of inquiry, what was said now? What have you spoken on?
I said that.
Shama Amma said that.
Try to find out the cause of any problem.
Cause of the problem, cause of the effect. If the effect is that, there has to be a cause.
Yeah.
And to destroy the effect, we'll have to eliminate the cause. So that is how this Jnana Yoga works. So what is the effect? Of course, we are in this world and we are suffering from the limitations. And then why we are in this world and why we are suffering from these limitations. So all those questions come. So what is the root cause of this situation? So we have to get at the root of it, eliminate like in any health issues also. If there is a disease, if we have to eliminate the disease, we'll have to eliminate the root of the disease.
Yes.
Symptomatic treatment will not work. It will only give a temporary relief. But unless you eliminate the root cause of the disease, that will manifest again and again. That will trouble us again and again. So when the root cause is eliminated, we are free from that disease. Otherwise, just treatment, like if somebody has got pain, so taking painkillers is not the remedy, isn't it? The root cause of the pain has to be eliminated to get rid of the pain. So similarly, if there is an effect, there has to be a cause. And unless that cause is eliminated, the effect will not go. So we are suffering. If we are suffering, that is the effect. So there has to be a cause behind that suffering. And that cause has to be eliminated. And that is what the path of inquiry is all about. Anything else can be added to this path of inquiry or the Jnana Yoga?
This is a Swamiji direct path.
Direct path.
Yeah, you don't have to go to some other practices like in Hatha Yoga or any other yoga. It's a straight away we are addressing our belief. For example, Bhagavan says here that you find out first whether the mind exists. That's the answer. Yeah.
Swamiji, we have to find out whether the cause really exists or not. With our
the effect really exists or not?
Not, sorry. The effect really exists or not with the Vivek Buddhi.
Anything else can be said about this Jnana Yoga?
Can I say something?
Yes, go ahead.
So there is a problem, and the root cause of problem is a mind. So there has to be an inquiry to be done whether mind exists or not. By inquiring about the mind and its nature with Vivek Buddhi, we find out that there is nothing like mind. And when there is nothing like mind, there is no problem.
Anything else can be added?
The main thing is ignorance. Of subtractive of the self is the root cause of everything. And inquiring is what is a mind, whether it exists or not. Then we come to know that there is nothing like a mind, and mind does not exist.
What else can be said about this Jnana Yoga?
We have to find out, Swamiji, whether the mind is Sat or Asat.
Of course, that will be part of that only. But like it was said earlier, that cause and effect. If effect is there, we have to eliminate the cause. That is one reason or one definition of this Jnana Yoga or path of inquiry. Anything else can be added to that? See,
No,
the thing is
Swamiji,
that
you tell us.
the thing is that there are so many religions in this world and there are so many religious scriptures in this world. They talk about God in different ways, with the form and attributes, without form but with attributes, formless and attributeless. And then they talk about heaven and hell also. They talk about the process of creation also. And in different texts, different ways of creation is given there in different process of creation. Then the science talks about Big Bang theory and so many things like that. So now if you look at it, they are all in the realms of intellectual speculations. Okay. So now, when you look at a scientist doing research in the lab, he begins his research work with the known incontrovertible facts, okay, proven facts. So with the known facts, he starts working with the known facts to arrive at, does new research work to arrive at a new conclusion or a new result. Isn't it? That is how the scientist works in the lab. What is known incontrovertible fact, undeniable fact. With those facts, he starts working, doing new research work to arrive at a new conclusion or a new result. Now, the only known incontrovertible, undeniable fact at our disposal is our own existence. Even an atheist cannot deny his own existence. No one can say that I don't exist. Then who is the one who is saying this statement? So I exist. I cannot deny my own existence. Even from deep sleep state also, somebody wakes me up and says, do you exist? Then if I give you a slap, you will know that I exist or not. So our existence is undeniable. Even though when from deep sleep state, we wake up and say, I didn't know anything. Then if somebody asks, if you didn't know anything, did you cease to exist for a few hours? Did you cease to exist? No.
No.
I don't think so. Because I remember before what I did before I went to sleep, and now I remember, now I know everything. So I must have existed even in the deep sleep state, though I didn't know anything. So this non-deniability of our own existence is the absolute truth from Vedantic standpoint. Vedanta talks about this non-deniability of our own existence is the absolute truth, and devotees call it as God. So in the path of inquiry, we begin with the known incontrovertible fact, like a scientist begins his research work from the known facts in the lab. So what is known is I exist. So now I have to inquire, who is this I who exists? This is what all this Jnana Yoga is all about. Who is this I who exists? Is it this body? Is it the sense organs or the pranas or the mind and its contents, called the emotions, feelings and sentiments, or the intellect and its contents called the thoughts, or it is an entity other than all this? This is the path of inquiry. So here we begin with an incontrovertible truth, undeniable truth, and not something which is in the realms of intellectual speculation, or we do not know for sure about their condition, because so many texts are there, so many religions, so many texts, and so many different ways they are spoken about and all those things. But my existence is a reality to me. This is undeniable truth. Even an atheist cannot deny that. So this is where we begin our inquiry in Jnana Yoga. So this is the path of inquiry or Jnana Yoga, the path of knowledge, one can say. Now we'll take up the 17th shloka for the test session, for the questions. Now the 17th shloka, Bhagwan Ramana Maharishi says, Manasam tu kim margane krute na eva manasam marge arjavat. Now based on this, the first question, first question here is, what is the subject of Dharma Shastra and Adhyatma Shastra? Prakash bhai.
I have not understood the question, sir, Swami.
The question is, what is the subject of Dharma Shastra and Adhyatma Shastra? That is the first question.
I think so. Dharma Shastra is regarding the Karma Yoga and Bhakti Yoga. And Adhyatmic Shastra is about the Gnana Yoga and Dhyana Yoga.
Adhyatmic Shastra, all are of Adhyatmic Shastra, Dharma Shastra. Anything else can be added to that. Jnana Yoga and Dhyana Yoga, Karma Yoga and Bhakti Yoga also is about that only. So what it is all between the difference between the two Dharma Shastra and Adhyatmic Shastra?
Can I answer, Swamiji?
Okay, go ahead.
The Dharma Shastra is from the relative point of view. Whereas the Gnana Yoga or path of inquiry is from absolute point of view. And absolute point is like real or unreal from the point of view of what you call permanent entity,
The relative or the Vyaharik Sat or the relative truth or untruth.
Yes.
Is the subject of the Dharma Shastra. Whereas Adhyatmic Shastra, it talks about, it is the inquiry is conducted from the absolute standpoint. That is Adhyatmic Shastra. So that is from the Dharma Shastra is from the relative standpoint regarding truth or untruth. That is the subject of Dharma Shastra. So that is the difference between the two. Now, the next question is, explain what is mithya or illusion with example. Kshama.
Mithya is sat asat, something which is not.
Which is not.
Mithya
is something.
Mithya is something which appears because of our ignorance. But in reality, it is not there.
Swamiji, can I answer?
Okay, go ahead.
Mithya is something which does not exist, in 3 periods of time. It appears to exist only in 1 period of time. And that is mithya or unreal.
Mithya, is it real? No, is it real or unreal? Mithya.
Mithya is real also and unreal also, both. It's like illusion. You cannot deny its existence.
And can we give an example on that?
The best example is this rope and the snake, and the ghost and the post. These two are the most beautiful
common
example. One student like me in the beginning thought that whatever I can see is a rope now. So once I went to the touch thinking that this is a rope, and I found that it's not rope, it's a snake. This is what happens to Vedant student in the beginning.
So this is mithya or illusion, is that which is actually neither real nor unreal. It is not both real and unreal. It is neither real nor unreal. We can't say it is real. We can't say it is unreal also. Why we can't say it is unreal? Because in this example of snake and rope in a dark area with not sufficient light, a rope is lying there, but it appears like a snake. The way it is lying, it appears like a snake. And because it appears like a snake, a fear manifests in our mind because of the snake, and then we are desperate to get a stick or stone or something to get rid of it. But when the light comes, and somebody brings a torch to see it properly, then we discover it is rope. So in the semi-darkness, it appeared like snake. So it was real in the semi-darkness, but in the light it became unreal. So it is neither real nor unreal. In ignorance it is real, in knowledge it is unreal. So it is neither real nor unreal. It is not totally non-existent like the horns on a rabbit. So a rabbit doesn't have any horns. So it is absolutely non-existent. It is not like that. There is some kind of appearance in the semi-darkness. We can't see properly and therefore it appears to be there. But in the light, immediately it goes away. So it is not that absolute unreal like the horns of a rabbit. But then we have the experience in the semi-darkness only because of our ignorance. That's all. And nothing else. So mithya is something which is neither real nor unreal. It appears real in ignorance and then it becomes unreal in knowledge. So like in the example of snake and rope. Now we move on to the next question. Define Sat and Asat from the absolute standpoint.
Sat is not subject to any modifications, Swamiji, and it was, is, and will be. And Asat is subject to modification, and it is not in all three periods of time.
Yes. So Sat is that which exists in all three periods of time, in all three planes of consciousness, not subject to modification. It is Anadi Ananta, beginningless and eternal. And that is called as Sat. And of course, Asat is exactly opposite of all that. It doesn't exist in all three periods of time. In all the three planes of consciousness, it is subject to modification. And of course, it is not beginningless and eternal. So that is Asat. So Sat and Asat. So ignorance may be beginningless, but it is not eternal. Absolute truth is beginningless and eternal, Anadi Ananta. Avidya or Ajnana is called as Anadi, but it is not Ananta. With knowledge, it is destroyed. So that is Sat and Asat. So now the next question on the same shloka is 17th shloka. Why is mind called mithya or illusory? Explain with example. Prakash bhai.
Mind is called mithya or illusion because it is seen and I am the seer. So it is jud. And the example is a ropeless tying of the donkey. One person having 5 donkeys and he wanted to tie them. And he had a rope enough for the 4. And for 5th donkey, he had no rope. And where he was going to stay, the lodge manager told him that you make an action that you are tying him. So he made an action of tying the 5th donkey. And in the morning, he wanted to see whether the 5th donkey is there or not. It was there. And he untied all the 4 and was waiting for 5th to come. He did not come because of the... then the manager said, you make an action of untying, and he untied the things and he started walking.
So this is ropeless tying and untying. The mind, mithya or illusion. Anything else can be added to this? Anyone? Pankaj bhai?
Wait, what is the question, Swamiji?
The question is, why is mind mithya or illusory?
Because of the same because of the same principle, Swamiji, that it appears to exist, but on making the inquiry, it disappears. So at a one period of time, it seems that it does exist. But when I start making the inquiry about that it really exists, then it disappears, Swamiji.
So when does it appears to be and when does it disappears?
It appears when there is during the Jagrat Avastha and Sapna Avastha, and it disappears in the deep sleep state, Sushupti Avastha.
In Jagrat and Swapna, any specific thing that makes it appear?
Substratum.
Mind, it is the mind, because of the mind that in the Jagrat as well as the Sapna Avastha, it makes us believe that it's real. But if it is real, then it must also exist in the Sushupti Avastha also. But in the Sushupti Avastha, there is ignorance prevail about myself because of the absence of the mind, Swamiji.
So it is absent in Sushupti, and then how does it manifest in waking and the dream state?
Because of the vasanas, Swamiji.
Is it because of the vasanas or anything else?
I thought, Swamiji, the first thing is I thought.
It is with the vrittis.
Vritti, yeah.
It manifests with vrittis.
Vrittis, yes.
And ceases in the absence of vrittis. Isn't it? So this manifests because it manifests with vrittis and then ceases to exist in a thought-free state. Actually, deep sleep state is also a thought-free state. So it ceases to exist there. So that is what happens. So moreover, this mind doesn't exist in all three planes of consciousness, all three periods of time also.
Yes.
Three planes of consciousness. So it is, and it is subject to modification. And of course, it is not Anadi Ananta. It is not beginningless and eternal, Anadi Ananta. Like we have seen in the, what you call, snake and the rope. So with Ajnana, it appears, the snake appears in ignorance, and in the knowledge, in the light, then there is no snake but the rope. So it is the ignorance of the substratum that appears as snake.
Yes.
And with the knowledge of the substratum, the snake disappears. So because the self is not known to us at this moment in time, with the manifestation of the thought, the mind also manifests with the thought. Without the thought, mind cannot manifest. So it is only exclusively thought only. Because of that only. So other than the rope, there is nothing else. Snake was just an appearance, nothing else is there. Similarly, other than the substratum, the substratum itself appears as the mind in ignorance. When we are in ignorance, it appears as mind. So, and the mind is seen, and I am the seer actually. So, mind is the seen object, and I am the seer of the mind because I know the contents of the mind. So, I am the seer of the contents of the mind. So, I am the seer, I am other than the mind. So, the substratum itself appears as the mind because of our own ignorance of the substratum. And then we have seen the example of ropeless tying and untying. Then now we move on to the next shloka, shlok 18. Now the questions based on shlok 18. Vrittayah tu aham vrittimashritah vrittayah manah vidhi aham manah. So based on this shloka, shlok 18, the first question, what is mind produced from? Shama Amma.
From the I thought, Swamiji.
Mind is produced from I thought.
Aham vritti is produced actually from my thought.
Before that, you have done Tattva Bodh, isn't it? Tattva Bodh, and then the Atma Bodh we have done.
Mind is actually the flow of thoughts.
No, now, what is mind produced from?
Mind produced from.
Can I answer, Swamiji?
Okay, go ahead.
As we have seen, as we have seen that mind is an illusion. Each illusion has got a substratum. And this ignorance or the non-apprehension of the substratum produces the illusion in the form of mind. That is my answer, Swamiji.
Anything else can be added?
So, question is, what is the mind? What is the question?
What is mind produced from?
Mind is made up of sattvic, ansh, ungrossified, pancha, bhuta.
Yeah.
So mind is produced from the sattvic aspects of ungrossified Pancha Mahabhuta. The subtle body is produced from the sattvic aspect. Mind intellect equipment is a subtle body. We have got gross, subtle, and the causal body. So this is part of subtle body. It is produced from the ungrossified subtle aspect of the sattvic aspect of ungrossified Pancha Mahabhuta. So that is how the mind is produced from the subtle body. Now the next question is, so now what is the mind then? Now what they have answered earlier, what Pankaj Bhai answered earlier when I said what is mind produced from, now the answer will come in that, the same answer.
Non-apprehension of the substratum.
No, now what is the mind then? Now mind is produced from the sattvic aspect of Panchamahabhuta. Then what is the mind? You have just said it.
Inert.
No, you just said it earlier. When I asked you this question, what is mind produced from? Then you said that answer, which was actually for the second question. The answer.
I think I answered
Please.
that non-apprehension of the substratum produces.
No, not non-apprehension. No, not non-apprehension. Kshamama said just now, I think.
All the vrittis, Swamiji.
I thought.
Yes. So
the mind is flow of thoughts, Swamiji.
Yeah, mind is the flow of thoughts.
Yeah.
So mind is produced from the subtler sattvic aspect of the Panchamahabhuta, and it is the flow of thought. So it is produced from that. And what is mind? Mind is the flow of thought then. This is how we have to understand. See, they are simple things, small things only it is. One line answer only. The subtler aspect, one by one, we have to understand it very clearly. There should be no confusion in our head. So now, we move on to the next question. What are the varieties of thoughts that are produced in the mind, that flows through the mind? What are the varieties of thoughts? Pankaj Bhai?
Idam vritti and aham vritti.
No, the varieties of thoughts.
Varieties of thoughts.
Well, because thoughts are innumerable, isn't it?
The one is the perception of the object.
Then
Emotions, different kinds of emotions.
Yes.
Like sadness, anger, and so and so forth. These are the different varieties produced from the objects as well as the interpretation of the perception of the object.
So the varieties of thoughts that flow through the mind, they are innumerable because of the innumerable objects. And then, of course, related to that, the emotions are also innumerable: anger, sadness, joys, and so on. And then the thoughts of sankalpa, vikalpa, to do or not to do, to go or not to go and so on, the sankalpa vikalpa, then thoughts about regarding different ideas, different concepts and so on, notions and so on. So these are the varieties of thoughts that the mind produces. Now, the next question is, explain the two main thoughts, vrittis, with example. Prakash bhai.
Aham vritti and idam vritti. Aham vritti is the subject or the I, what we call I, capital I. And the idam vritti is the thoughts of the objects, different thoughts of the object. So denominator, the aham vritti is the first, and then the idam vritti starts.
So there are only two vrittis. So all the vrittis, they boil down to only two vrittis. Aham vritti and idam vritti. Can we explain that with an example?
Like here the example given is pot. Pot is a idam vritti. And my consciousness about the pot is a aham vritti.
So this is a pot is idam vritti. I know this is a pot is aham vritti.
Yes.
So there is a knower known difference. Pot is known and I am the knower. So the knower is aham vritti and the known is idam vritti. So this is how it is. So that way, if you look at it, the idam vrittis are many, but aham vritti is one, because there are so many objects, infinite number of objects are there. Then ideas and emotions and thoughts and concepts and so many idam vrittis are there, but only one aham vritti. So aham vritti and idam vritti, there are only two. All the vrittis can be boiled down to two. Idam vritti regarding all the different objects, concepts, ideas, emotions, and things like that, the thoughts regarding that. And the knower, I know. So aham vritti and then idam vritti. So all the infinite number of thoughts have been brought down to only two thoughts, aham vritti and idam vritti. I thought and this thought. So idam vritti will keep on changing. Aham vritti doesn't change. I remain the same, and the thought that is flowing through my mind intellect equipment keeps on changing regarding so many different objects and notions and concepts and ideas and emotions and things like that. They keep on changing. But I will remain the same. Then the next question is, explain vrittayah tu aham vritti ashritaha. Here it is, vrittayah tu aham vritti ashritaha. What is that, Prakash bhai?
Aham vritti remains the same. Then mind is aham vritti. And aham vritti identified with the body mind equipments, which gives us a notion of karta bhokta.
No, here it is said, now here in the shloka it is said that vrittayah tu aham vritti ashritaha, aham vrittim ashritaha. So what does that mean?
Mike, can I answer?
Go ahead.
Swamiji, idam vritti depends upon the aham vritti. If aham vritti is absent or say dormant, idam vritti will never arise. Like in deep sleep state. Since this aham vritti is active in Jagrata Avastha as well as Swapna Avastha. But in Sushupti Avastha, deep sleep state, Amvruti is dormant.
Therefore,
the ignorance about of Idam Vritti. Not
so all
ignorance, but we are
all
not.
Idam Vrittis are dependent on one Aham Vritti. So if that one Aham Vritti is not there, there will be no Idam Vritti.
Yes.
Because Aham Vritti is one, Idam Vritti are many. So these many Idam Vrittis will not be there if that Aham Vritti is not there. Just I thought if it is not there, then no other thought will be there. So Idam Vritti depends thoroughly on Aham Vritti. If Aham Vritti doesn't arise, there will be no Idam Vritti at all. No this thought. So I thought comes first and then this thought. Now the next question is, explain Vrittayah manah vidhi aham manah with example. Shamama. Vrittayah manah vidhi aham manah with example.
So the I thought depends. So the I thought only is the mind, Swami.
Okay. Then?
And all thoughts depend upon I thought.
This I thought. So without I thought,
there won't be any mind.
There will be no mind and no
thoughts
about any objects also.
Yeah.
Then there cannot be any thought of any objects. There cannot this Idam Vritti also cannot arise. And example is, can you give an example?
All right. Swamiji, please excuse me for my quality of my voice, Swamiji, very bad.
Yeah, no problem. So
the
what
identification of our Aham when identifies with body, mind, and intellect.
Here the question is that explain Vrittaya Manah Vidhi Aham Manah with example. Now it was said that mind is Aham Vritti, and until that Aham Vritti arises, there will be no Idam Vritti.
Yes.
There will be no knowledge of any objects.
Yes.
So Idam Vritti can't arise without Aham Vritti. And what is the example for this?
Pot.
Huh?
Pot. What pot?
No. Is there a situation where Aham Vritti doesn't arise?
Deep sleep.
Yeah.
Deep sleep.
In Shushupti Avastha, there is no Aham Vritti, and therefore there cannot be any Idam Vritti. There cannot be any knowledge of any objects. There will be absolute Ajnana. That is why when we wake up from deep sleep state, the first thing we say that I didn't know anything. And the next moment we say, but I enjoyed it. I didn't know anything because there was no Aham Vritti, so there was no question of any Idam Vritti, so no knowledge of anything from deep sleep state when we wake up.
Swamiji, I have got one doubt or question.
Okay.
Does it mean that during the meditation, what I am doing is annihilating the I Vritti during the meditation? Am I annihilating,
yes.
Annihilating the Aham Vritti?
When what happens is that in the deep state of meditation, when this Aham Vritti is dissolved, even if it is temporarily, and we don't fall into deep sleep state, then we don't identify with the body, mind, intellect equipment at all. Then what happens is that we have transcended the identity with the body, mind, intellect equipment. And once we do that, then we are in a timeless state. So there is no body consciousness. Body, mind, intellect consciousness is not there. This is exactly what Bhagwan Ramana Maharshi also experienced, and he has explained in one of the somewhere that sometimes he used to be in the samadhi state for days together. So when somebody asked him that, didn't you feel hunger or thirst or anything like that for so many days you were in samadhi state and no hunger, no thirst, nothing? Then he said that because there is no consciousness of the body, everything stops. So there is no hunger, pang or thirst or anything like that. They just simply stop. That's what happens. And there is also case in Tripura Rahasya also it comes where someone was in meditation and he was in that state for so long, he didn't even know how many years had passed. Hundreds of years had passed and everything had changed. It was not the same when he came to the body consciousness level. It was not the same. He couldn't recognize anything because for years together he was in samadhi. You may find some people, some great Mahatmas in the caves in the Himalayas also. So their body is sustained on this Khesri Mudra practice. Khesri Mudra is going on when you attain the Siddhi of Khesri Mudra, then you don't have to eat or drink anything. Then the energy sustains you. That is the practice given in Hatha Yoga, Pradipika. So that practice is also very good. Even if we continuously practice now also, slowly our hunger and thirst start reducing and slowly our meals also will keep reducing, but there will be no uh, energy loss. We'll have full of energy. So this practice can be done and then regularly also and slowly we can reduce it. And Khesri Mudra practice also reduces our hunger and thirst, but there will be no shortfall of any energy levels like that. So,
Swamiji, please excuse me for interruption.
Yes, tell me.
That means that in meditation, there is a manolai. This manolai gives me temporary inkling of my true state of being. This is my question.
Yes, because that is why we need to be, see, like in the example of Bhagwan Ramana Maharshi, he realized the truth in Madura itself at the age of 17, when he had the experience of death. At that time itself, he realized the truth. He went to Tiruvannamalai to have a firm abidance in that truth. And therefore, for many years, he didn't speak at all. He was in Mauna. Most of the time, he was in Samadhi state and Mauna. He will not speak also, just to have a firm abidance in that. Though he had already realized it in Madura itself before leaving for Tiruvannamalai. So, we will have that glimpses. It will come and go, but we have to have a firm abidance in that. That takes time.
Yes.
Sometimes we may get a glimpse. Often it happens for a few seconds or few moments. We may have a glimpse of that absolute truth. But then to have a firm abidance in that. So for that, a regular practice to be in that samadhi state, in meditation state is required. So for that purpose only, Bhagwan Ramana Maharshi went from Madurai all the way to Tiruvannamalai. And then he was always into meditation only in samadhi state all the time. To have
Thank
a
you.
firm abidance in his own self.
Thank you, Swamiji.
So, this, without this aham vritti, there cannot be any idam vritti. And therefore, in Sushupti Avasa, there is ajnana, ignorance. I didn't know anything. Then the next question on the same shloka is, now what should be the sadhana to calm the mind? Having known this, now what should be your sadhana to calm the mind?
Can I
Prakash
answer?
bhai.
Okay, sorry.
Prakash bhai.
What the sadhana? What is the question, Swamiji?
What should be the sadhana to calm the mind?
The ahamvritti is a mind, and so we have to destroy the ahamvritti to destroy the mind.
So we have to understand this ahamvritti, isn't it? So to calm the mind, we have to understand this ahamvritti, because
Ahamvritti is identified with the body, mind, and intelligent equipment,
and
which
then
gives us the notion of karta bhokta bhava.
karta bhokta bhava, it puts us into the shoka and moha.
So we suffer in life.
And we suffer in life because of that. So the root cause is that only. So then we suffer. This ahamvritti only identifies with the body, mind, intellect, equipment, and then we suffer. And go through that shoka, moha, and so on, all that. Now, we move on to the next shloka, shloka 19. Now, in 19th shloka, Bhagwan Ramana Maharishi says, Aham ayam kutah bhavati chinvatah ai patati aham nija vicharanam. So now this shloka, questions based on this shloka, explain the meaning of ahankara in vyavaharik existence, in the relative existence or vyavaharik sat. Shamamma?
Actually, when you start inquiring about who you are, then this ego or ahankar will fall,
No,
reduce.
here it is simple ahankar. We say ahankar, isn't it?
Yeah.
So the meaning of this ahankar in our relative existence, in our relative day-to-day activities, what is this meaning of ahankar?
That is, you are not
Ahankar of
aware of the self, ignorance of the self.
No, what is the meaning of ahankara?
Aham,
Where this ahankara word comes in usage in our day-to-day living?
arrogance.
Yes, arrogance. In the relative existence, ahankar comes in the use as in arrogance. Someone has got some kind of arrogance, some kind of pride. I have done this, I can do that, and all that thing. So that is, it gives a hints of arrogance and pride or something like that. Or I am so and so, pride about the position that I am occupying and so on. So they are all indication of arrogance and pride, something like that. So this is what in the relative existence it is used as ahankar, what is understood. The next question is, in Vedanta, what does ahankar mean?
Can I say something?
Okay.
Ignorance of the self.
In Vedanta, it is identified with body, mind, and intellect equipments, considering as self, gives us karta bhokta bhava.
So, in Vedanta, it is identifying with the body, mind, intellect equipment, considering it to be I or the self, and also taking oneself as this karta and bhokta. This is the ego from the Vedantic standpoint. Now, the next question on the same shloka is, what is the sadhana Bhagwan Ramana Maharshi gives here in this particular shloka? Pankaj Bhai?
Ramana Maharshi, Bhagwan Ramana Maharshi has given a very direct, shortest, and the sweetest method. Who am I? He says, start inquiry. Who am I? And that will produce, or it will lead you to ultimately transcending the ahavrutti.
So the source of ahamvritti, that is inquired into, that should be inquired into. That is the sadhana which Bhagwan Ramana Maharshi talks about. What is the source of this ahamvritti? From where does it arise? That has to be inquired into. So, what is the source that is spoken of?
Pure consciousness, Swamiji.
I thought.
I thought.
I thought arises from the pure consciousness. That is a birthplace.
Inquiry of I thought.
So when you do this inquiry, so why do you how do you find this I thought to be? Is it Jada or Chaitanya? What?
No, it is Jada, Swamiji. I thought itself is a Jada. But it gets, it energizes through, from pure consciousness.
So it is Chit as well as Jada.
Yes.
Both together. Chit as well as Jada.
Both together.
But then, on inquiry, what happens?
Inquiry, Swamiji, Ahamvritti, again, it's an object.
So,
But the subject or the knower is the pure consciousness, which illuminates this Ahamvritti, Swamiji.
So when we inquire into it, what happens is that this I thought, this ego will disappear, isn't it? Why?
It will disappear.
Because its appearance is only due to ignorance, isn't it? So it appears due to ignorance, and this I thought or the ego is not the self. So if it is not the self, but that is closest to the self, isn't it?
Yes, Swamiji.
Because when we withdraw from all the other thoughts, then only I thought remain. And that is the only barrier which is closest to the self. Once that also goes away, then what remains is only the self. So this so-called I thought is also closest to the self. When we withdraw from all other thoughts, so it is nearest to the self. So it is the closest indication of that pure self. So it is so close.
Can I add something, Swamiji?
Yes, go ahead.
And this I thought is a thief, takes over the power of the pure consciousness and behaves as if everything comes from this me, I. So it's a, and Bhagwan has given beautiful example about that marriage process, marriage which is taking place. And a person, Swamiji, you'd be able to narrate this one.
The thing is that the inquiry, the way Bhagwan has said, the sadhana that he has given is that from aham and idam vritti, we discard the idam vritti and come to aham vritti. Isn't it? So then that is the closest indication. So from aham and idam we come to aham vritti, and then the source of aham that is inquired into, that is, then what happens is that the superimposition drops and what remains is the pure consciousness. Pure I remains, the Shuddha Aham remains. Now, the example that you were trying to quote about this marriage thing, that is actually example of one of my friends many years ago, maybe 45 years ago, 50 years ago. He told me this. So whenever on Sundays, he wanted to have a 5-star, he wanted to have 5-star meal without paying. Meal in a 5-star hotel without paying. So he used to go through the engagement columns, and if there is a wedding taking place in a 5-star hotel, so he'll be suited and booted with a bouquet of flowers and things like that, and he'll enter as if he's also one of the guests, and then present that, and nobody knows from whose side it is, girl's side or boy's side or whatever, and then enjoy the buffet. But when the inquiry starts, because there may be some people with their daughters to be married off, so this fellow looks very handsome. So how about inquiring it? So the girl's side will ask the boy's side, is he one of your relatives or friends or somebody? And then when he comes to know about there is some inquiry going on, it's him make a disappearing act. So like that, this ego also is something like that. When we inquire, then it will disappear. So from all the idam vrittis, we come to aham vritti. From the aham vritti, we then go into the shuddha aham, the pure I, the pure self. And then that is what remains and nothing else. And that is a thought-free state also. Now here, the next question on the same shloka is that why is the verb patati aham used and not patami aham? See, in this 19th shloka, ai patati aham, nija vicharanam. So, ai patati aham, not patami aham. First person singular has to be used, but here it is used as a third person. Why is it so? Why third person singular is used instead of first person singular? Patami aham.
Because aham vritti is also idam vritti.
Ha. Because here this aham vritti is also treated as idam vritti. Therefore, the word patati, that is the third person singular, is used, not the first person singular. Patami is first person singular verb. So this is patati is third person singular verb. So patami is not used, patati is used. So in South India, especially if you go to Kerala, this is the place of Adi Shankaracharya. So there they address each other in the third person. So they don't say that, okay, Aditya has taken his meals. Now this person is asking Aditya. He is not telling that, have you taken your meal? So he is asking Aditya, has Aditya taken the meal? So Aditya is addressed in third person. That is how in Kerala they speak like that only. And then when Swamiji comes, they say that, then Swamiji is asked this question, when did Swamiji come? They don't ask, when did you come, Swamiji? No. When did Swamiji come? In the third person they ask. Like in children, small children, their ego is not that strongly developed. So they don't know the use of I. But they know that everybody calls them by name. So if a child is called by Rama, so now this child doesn't know how to say himself as I am hungry, he doesn't know. So he knows that everybody calls me Rama and respond to that. So he says that now Rama is hungry, he'll say. He doesn't say that I am hungry. Rama is hungry in a third person. So because that child's ego is not developed, he doesn't know the use of I at this moment in time. So he is addressing himself also in third person. So this is what it is. Actually, when we refer to our body, mind, intellect, equipment, we have to refer to it in third person only, because we are not that. It is not I. Okay, and this is what it is. So throughout the day, when we are having this contemplation going on, whenever in contemplation also, or we are discussing something in contemplation, something, we have to refer to this, our own body, mind, intellect, as in the third person only. So not as first person. Oh, now I'm feeling hungry. Now again, this body is demanding something. Oh, I have to feed him now. Now this body is having some kind of pressure. I have to take him to the washroom now. So now we are addressing or talking in terms of, as regards this body, mind, intellect is concerned, equipment is concerned in third person. As if this is not I. And we are not that anyway. So we are always addressing it as a third person. So this is how it should be. The sadhana goes like that only. That is very important. So having said that, now the next shloka, that is the 20th shloka, the question answers on this shloka will take in our next session.
Swamiji, very important. 20
Yes.
it is.
Huh?
20 is very important, Swamiji.
Yeah, 20th is very important. All the shlokas are very important. 20, 21, 22.
Yeah, right now, from 17 onwards, all are important.
It is all Jnana Yoga because that is your favorite. So all the shlokas will be very important.
Yeah. Because from next time, Prakash Bhai will not be there.
Oh,
For,
it is
for
very
1 month.
important.
No, 1 month he is going to Puttaparthi.
Oh.
Baba's 100 for the celebration of Baba's birthday, 100th birthday.
100th.
Huh.
Oh,
He offers his service in the hospital, Swamiji.
I see.
Seva.
But at least on that next Friday, at least it should be there because that will be very important. That 21, 20, 21, 22, they are very important shlokas
I
and
know.
very important question answers are there on that. So he has to make himself available for at least 1 hour.
Can we have tomorrow or day after tomorrow one more session? Say Sunday.
Sunday. No, Sunday also I'm very busy. Tomorrow and Sunday I'm very busy. Or we'll have to
He's
maybe
going on Tuesday, Swamiji.
Tuesday. So maybe on Monday we can have it.
Prakash, we can have 1 hour session on Monday,
Yeah, no problem.
especially for you.
Thank
Uh-huh.
you. Thank you. Thank you.
Then we'll not have it on Friday.
Yeah.
Okay.
So next
Okay, then.
Monday, yeah. Thank you
So
very
then
much,
we'll,
Swamiji. Thank you very much.
so we'll conclude now.
Yes, Swamiji.
Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate Om Shanti 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 Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha Harihi Om